One of the classic Spanish foods is the roast suckling pig. They call it here cochinillo. And El Senador is known for having one of the best cochinillos in Madrid. So we decided that we want to go and try it here. Now everybody knows about botín, everybody's heard about it, and it's one of the more famous ones because Hemingway wrote about it there and everybody goes there, and it's been there for centuries and centuries. It's the oldest operating restaurant in the world, supposedly. But that doesn't mean it's the best. It is good and a lot of people like it. I've heard other people say it's not as good, but we're looking forward to trying what many people say is the best in Madrid, and that's at El Senador. It's a classic old restaurant. It's got a bar and a restaurant, and we're going to go in and we're going to have a nice lunch. ¿Atún? No, no, no. Probablemente vamos a comer cochinillo.
Vale, perfecto.
Creo que tomar Rivera hoy. Sí. Solo una copa para mí, para ella agua. Y para comer ella chipirones y para mí cochinillo.
¿Y de primero?
No, no, no. Está bien, es todo. Smells really good. What I got here is a Ribera del Duero, which is something you get in Spain more than any place else, and it's a more rustic wine, but it's very good. Yeah, that's really nice. It's very light. It's going to go well with my cochinillo, and as I mentioned, you always get a sort of a complimentary tapa whenever you order a glass of wine. And it looks like they gave us chistoras here, which again, are sausages. We got these sausages at Sagardi the other night, and they're quite good. They're a lot like the Portuguese linguiça that you get in the US or Portuguese sausage in Hawaii. Just as good, really good. Some of the best cochinillo in Spain is actually in Segovia. And we did try it in Segovia. It was very good there. The very first time we had cochinillo was in a town called Cuenca, where they're known for sparking the modern art movement in the world. And Cuenca has a place there called the Hanging House. And we went there and we were ordering our meal there, and somebody brought the cochinillo by, and Young said, "What's that?" And I told her, "It's cochinillo. Would you like to try it?" And she said, "Yeah." So we went back there the next day, and we had probably the best cochinillo she's had to date. And it was really good. Well, this place supposedly has cochinillo better than any place else in Madrid. If you just heard that, it's really crunchy. The skin is super crunchy.
Can you tap it? Oh,
The meat is super tender. The thing about cochinillo is it will have bones in it, so you've got to be careful not to wind up eating the bone. So the meat here is really tender. It's extremely moist. The skin is very crackly. And the Latinos in America, they call this chicharrón, which is like the crispy pork skin. And it's really good here. The chicharrón is good. The meat itself is very tender and moist. And it's got a lot of good porky flavor. This is a very nice cochinillo. No wonder they're known for having the best in Madrid.
Okay, so what I got here, I don't know the name of the dish in Spanish. Chipirones, basically baby squid in olive oil. I think they grilled, they grilled. When I usually I love the squid, but I went to Malaga, and the way they cook the squid, it just it's very simple, just olive oil and grilled. And a little bit of, like herbs. That's it. This is appetizer, what I ordered, but it's like, let me see, more than that I needed. It's really amazingly good, very fresh. And very juicy inside. And cooked just perfectly. It's really, really good. So there's a little bit of onion inside. Let's make it sweet. Let me taste the onion. It's really sweet, actually. I think they add the sugar.
So the cochinillo we had here was certainly every bit as good as the one we had in Segovia. There was so much food. I think if I come here again, I definitely want to starve myself for a day or two in order to be able to finish it all, because it really is worth finishing. There was just so much of it, I couldn't finish it all. They brought us a complimentary aperitif here, which I believe is going to be coffee with a little liqueur in it. Let's taste it. That's exactly what it is. It has a heavy cinnamon flavor. It's got some liqueur in it, and it's got coffee and a little bit of cream. It's delicious. It tastes like a dessert, which is good since I can't really fit dessert in right now anyway, so this works out well. So the food was really good here, but I wanted to add, if you look around here, you can see this is a very classic, typically Spanish restaurant. You come in here and you're sitting here and you know you're eating in Spain, and you can tell you're in a Spanish restaurant with a Spanish style. And you look around here and everybody else who's eating here, they're locals. There's no tourists in here. These are all locals eating the typical Spanish food of Spain in a typical Spanish atmosphere. What a wonderful place to come when you're on a Spanish vacation. Now, you can hear it's getting a little bit more crowded now. We've got people all around us. They're all talking. They're having a wonderful time. This is really a great restaurant where they come for their family dinners, their family lunches, family celebrations. And if you want to really feel like you're having a great meal in Spain, this is a great place to come. We're standing in front of Lardi. Lardi is a storied Spanish institution. It was established in 1839. Back then, they have a restaurant upstairs, and down here on the ground floor, they have candies and pastries and things like that. And basically, the restaurant, it was sort of a French-style restaurant. The food there is so good that around the mid 1800s to late 1800s, a lot of the high-class Spanish homes started getting built without kitchens because they all ordered their food from Lardi, who would deliver the food to their homes as well. The restaurant is still upstairs. They're known for certain things. For example, they make a duck à l'orange that people go crazy over. If you're a big duck à l'orange fan, this is the place to get it. They also have a lot of other dishes that people love. What they're really known for here, and they sell it down on the ground floor as well in the summer, their gazpacho. They make the best gazpacho in town. You can go there, you can get a cup of it, and just walk the streets with it after you get it, or just drink it there, give them the glass back, and walk around afterward. But their pastries are good too. Now this is a classic gazpacho, and it is really the best in town. I got mine with croutons in it and egg grated on top. It's very good. Look how rich and thick this is. This is so good. You can taste the tomatoes, and in Spain, the tomatoes taste like real tomatoes. They're fresh, they're delicious. They make this soup out of it. You can taste the grassiness of the tomatoes. You can taste the freshness of the fruit. It is so good. Whenever you're in Madrid in the summer, or anywhere in Spain in the summer, get a gazpacho. If you're not, you can go to the southern part of Spain and get a salmon. Okay, we are on a side street in a commercial area of a small residential area in the outskirts of Madrid. Now, it's not a place you would expect to see tourists. Why did we come here? We had to come here in an Uber. It took us a good 25-30 minutes to get here. The reason we're here, we're at Casa Benigna. And Casa Benigna is known to have the absolute best paella in Madrid. And paella is not a Madrid specialty, but it is a specialty here. The chef is from Alicante, and they're supposed to have all kinds of really good stuff here. So we're going to try this. We're going to see how good it is, and we'll let you share the experience with us.
So this is a house founded by my father and my grandmother, actually. My father is from a small town in the Mediterranean near Alicante, which is a typical region where it's where they eat a lot of paellas, and that's the reason why the paella is the speciality of the house. We have the paella in 5 different recipes that you can try, you can choose among. We follow the tradition that the paella is the main course that we will serve in the center of the table for you to share. Okay. That doesn't mean you have to stick with only one. We can offer you 2 different if you want. Right. Normally I would have to bring you one first and the other one afterwards, but in some cases we could also study the possibility to bring you both at the same time. What is also very common is while the paellas are being prepared that maybe you share a starter or 2 half starters.
I've heard your smoked salmon is very good.
Exactly. Why? Because we are also half Norwegian. My mother is from Norway. Okay. And my father lived many years in Norway, 17 years, and he ran 3 restaurants in Norway before returning to Spain. So we have recovered a couple of Norwegian dishes that have become very popular. One of those 2, one of them is the smoked salmon. It's very special because the salmon comes all the way from Norway, but it comes completely fresh. The whole procedure of smoking the salmon is done here in the house with a very old Norwegian technique, which is really hard to find even in Norway. So highly recommendable if you like salmon. We smoke it just before we bring it to the table. And then we have paellas, 5 different paellas.
Now I've heard she's got a bucket there which has French butter in the original bucket.
Oh wow, the best butter ever.
That's what I've heard.
Oh shoot,
she wants to video it.
Oh man. This is one of the famous here in this restaurant. So we have fresh butter for the fans.
Very special butter. It comes from France, from a small town called Échiré, south of Normandy, direction Bordeaux. And it's, with no doubt, one of the best butters in the world.
I love butter, so nothing wrong with
the bread
that.
is completely homemade. We make it every morning.
Oh my
Very
goodness.
nice.
No way.
Would you like some water too?
Yes, please. So, you know, generally paella originates around Valencia, and when you ask people, particularly people from Spain, where do you find good paella in Madrid? And they will mostly tell you there's no good paella in Madrid. All the good paella is in Valencia. Now, this restaurant here, Casa, I'm guessing it's Casa Benigna, which is a Spanish pronunciation, rather than Casa Benigna, which would be an Italian pronunciation. This restaurant is known to be the best paella in Madrid, so we definitely want to try it. And the people who've been here and tried paella, they rave about it. I thought we need to do paella at least once because a lot of our viewers are American, and Americans want to see paella in Spain. Let me go back a little bit. The first time I came to Spain was in the early 1980s. I came here for college for a semester, and I loved it here. And I did try paella for the first time when I was here. I came back to the United States and I mentioned to people that I really love Spanish food. And they said, oh, you mean like tacos and burritos? It's like, no, that's Mexican food. That's not Spanish food. Back then, nobody knew anything about Spanish food in the US. Nowadays, you tell people, oh, I like Spanish food. They say, oh, you mean paella. And, you know, paella is definitely a classic Spanish food. But there's so much good Spanish food besides paella. They make something called a fideuà, which is like a paella, except they use noodles instead of rice. We love fideuà as well as paella. They also make a whole bunch of other foods, and we're going to do another video where we list off some of the classic Spanish foods you should try when you come to Spain. We won't do that in this video because this video is about the paella. We've heard their paella is very good. They have homemade bread. They have butter that came in a bucket from France, and they shave the butter onto the plate.
Oh my God.
And very nice, very soft bread.
Very, very soft. The special butter.
And with your meal here, they do give you a lot of extra little things, and one of the things is gazpacho. We also have some crudités with some nice dips. We also ordered the smoked salmon here because it's supposed to be excellent. Even though I'm not a fish eater, smoked salmon here everybody raves about, so I'm going to try it.
Oh my God.
Oh, this butter is amazing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You know what? I'm going to just taste butter itself. I usually don't do that.
This is from Young, who doesn't like butter.
Wow.
Amazing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They've also brought us a nice little bowl of gazpacho to start it off. And particularly in the summer in Spain, you want to get gazpacho whenever you have the opportunity because their tomatoes are fresh and grassy, and gazpacho is a specialty.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Okay, they've given us a tiny bowl of gazpacho just to start as a complimentary appetizer. And it's got a swirl of olive oil in it and a little crouton on top. And it looks like some cucumber cubes cut into it. Oh, that's grassy. It's got the strong flavor of Spanish tomatoes. It's so good. It's a delicious gazpacho. We are in for an auspicious meal here. This is delicious. It's a good thing we're not eating dinner tonight. There's going to be a lot of food at lunch. This is so good. The gazpacho is delicious. How's the olive?
Olive is very good too. Everything. But, oh man, I gotta eat paella, but look at this. I can't get over this butter.
Get out of the tourist area, get into the neighborhoods. You can find some really amazing places. I'm going to be really gauche here. Delicious. I could make a meal of that gazpacho.
We are so lucky that my son has decided to continue the third generation running the place.
You mean we're lucky?
We are really. We started in Norway in
Norway?
1974.
Oh, wow.
My wife is Norwegian.
Were you making rice dishes in Norway?
No. In Norway,
So,
I was making
more
my
Norwegian.
wife, I was making the traditional Spanish cooking from Castilla. So this is the reason we have so short menu.
Well, I'll tell you, so far, the restaurant is beautiful, and the food we've had up to this point is really good, and it's got great
Enjoy it.
great reputation. So we're really looking
My
forward
name
to
is
it.
Norberto.
Thank you, Norberto. This is the Norwegian style of smoked salmon that they serve as an appetizer here. And then we've got a tomato salad, a classic Spanish tomato salad. I've also tasted the olives that they gave us, and there's garlic in the olive, so it's a very garlicky olive. But I'm just looking for it. Oh my goodness, look at the eggs in this tomato salad. The egg yolks are just a little soft, a little bit hard. Look at this. This is perfect. This is going to be beautiful. And I know already, having been eating tomatoes here since we got here. Delicious. They peeled the skin off the tomatoes. There's a little spice to it. I think there's a little tuna in it as well, but it's really good. Okay, it's very rare you will ever see me eat a piece of fish, especially salmon like this, because salmon normally tastes incredibly fishy to me. But I've heard this is not particularly fishy. This is cooked in a Norwegian style. It comes with a mustard sauce and it's served warm. And they smoke everything here. So this is the warm salmon with the mustard sauce. They're right. This is delicious. This is smoky. It's not fishy at all. The mustard sauce gives it a nice tang, and it's a really wonderful, wonderful piece of salmon. For someone who doesn't like salmon, and particularly doesn't like fish and doesn't like salmon, I love this. This is really good. Young, you're going to like it. It's good. It's got some substance to it. Now I want my potato with mustard sauce. This is actually quite good. Really smoky. Super smoky.
Wow, how beautiful. Look at the skin.
Are you shooting?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Look at the skin.
I know.
How beautiful. Oops, look at that. I'm so excited. I'm holding two.
I know, you're cutting it with the back end of the knife. It's very soft, it's very tender.
Very soft.
Super smoky. The skin is like a skin chip, salmon chip.
Okay. I'm going to skin. So crispy. Wow. This is so good. Wow. This is not a regular. Inside is almost like not fully cooked all through. Just smoke.
They just smoke it. Smoked in the Norwegian style. Okay, mark the date. This is the first time you ever see me take another piece of fish and actually want it after trying one.
Wow. There's a potato.
That's beet. That's a beet.
Beet. This is the beet. Very sweet. Very good.
Now this tomato salad comes with peppers. It's got avocado in it. It has egg. I'm pretty sure that's tuna.
There's a tuna here.
Yes, and it looks like it has 2 or 3 different kinds of tomatoes. It has peas.
Tuna is cherry tomato. Oh, I'm gonna share with you.
It's okay.
You don't have to eat tuna.
I don't have to eat tuna. I'm not going to eat tuna.
Wow.
I am going to eat more tomatoes.
And also pickled onion too.
Little pearl onion.
Pearl onion.
Oh, and it's got beans in there. Habas.
Pepper.
That's probably an enguia. You see those normally in the Basque country. You get enguias.
So good.
I think we found a good one.
Oh my God, this tomato. So tasty. Sweet.
Gherkin. Little pickle.
This temperature cold. It's not too cold, but sweet.
By the way, this is a half order.
Oh, wait a second. You want half order?
Yeah, we got a half order of this salad and a half order of the salmon.
Wow. Oh my God, I don't want to waste all this tomato.
Habas are also very good, the beans. It's got fresh basil on top.
can't get over how tasty.
It's very good.
I think it's the temperature make it difference.
That may be the case.
I thought they usually don't put the tomato in the refrigerator, but apparently
Here they do, I guess, yeah. Made it in balsamic vinaigrette.
Yeah. Everything tastes way too good and everything very special. This salad was the best salad I ever had. I can't even imagine how to make this.
It is wonderful when you go to a restaurant and they care about the quality of everything they do, and you wind up with just quality food everywhere.
It's really, really good.
And this is one of those places. Now, it's not going to be right in the center of Madrid. You're not going to be able to just find it next to your hotel. If you're visiting Madrid, you're going to have to take a car or an Uber or a taxi out here, because even on the train, you can't get here by subway that easy unless you're planning on walking an additional mile. He was telling us, I think it was Norberto was telling us that he decided to open this business on the worst street in the best area of Madrid. So, you know, it's not a place that's easily reachable unless you just take an Uber or a car or a taxi.
Very special way to come here, but totally worth it. Can't believe it, we missed it last time we were here.
I found in the market yesterday the skin of the bacalao.
Oh, wow.
Very crispy. Very
Oh, that's great.
interesting.
Thank you so much, Norberto. Appreciate it.
It's a fish.
Okay. Yes, I know. I know what cod is.
Okay.
So Norberto came over. He brought us a special treat here. This is a salad that he makes. This is using Spanish cod, bacalao, and Valencia oranges. Also, he has olives and he has berries in the salad. I'm taking a piece of orange, the cod, and the olives. This is a very traditional flavor of Valencia. So I'm going to try it. Wow, that's really good. It's really, yeah. Here's the thing. The fish that he's using here is all so fresh that it's really tasty. It's not fishy. And so I really actually like it, even though it's fish and I'm not a fish eater. If it's not fishy, I usually like it. And here I do. It's delicious. Now, these berries, I'm not sure what they are.
No, but not berries.
All right, you think these are olives?
Olives.
Okay, I'll try it. No, it's berries.
Oh, berries. Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
Then they have what looks like tiny pomegranate seeds.
Pomegranate.
Yeah, it looks like a pomegranate seed. Who would have thunk it? Cod and orange is a combination. Really tasty, delicious. Now preparing to bring out the stars of the show, the paellas. Now, we've already eaten so much, we're pretty full already, and we probably shouldn't have ordered our separate paellas. We probably should have ordered a paella for one and split it, but we're gonna soldier on here. And ultimately, they brought out a little thing of mayonnaise and some lemon wedges, and now they're gonna bring out the paella. Young is getting her seafood, and I am getting my pork rib. And my rice is a smoked rice, which is unusual for paella, to get smoked rice and pork ribs. So I thought, let's try that. That's different, and let's try it. So you see them scraping what's on the bottom of the pot there. That's the sofrito down at the bottom. The rice is burnt onto the bottom of the pan, and you get crispy rice. My Korean family is going to definitely appreciate that, and that is one of the good things about a great paella, is you get this crispy rice at the bottom. My rice is smoked, and mine also comes with pork ribs. So
Ooh, smells so good.
they both smell delicious.
You want me to serve it?
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's
You want a little bit more?
a little bit. That's good. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Wow.
My pork paella.
And the last one, also from the mountains, is not traditional. It's more genuine from this restaurant because we apply a technique which is not common. We smoke the rice prior to cook it for 40 hours.
Yeah.
That's the most elaborated, and then we serve it with Spanish pork ribs. Those are the 5 paellas. You can choose them.
This is amazing. The rice is smoky. The pork is tender and juicy. This is a delicious paella. Don't let them tell you can't get good paella in Madrid. You can. This is the place to get it. This is delicious.
It's better than Valencia.
Yes.
I can't wait to taste mine. Really smells good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, 5 different paellas. We have the typical one from the sea. The most traditional paella from the sea is the one we call arroz a banda, the fish and seafood, the first one. That is a very clean paella. What do I mean by clean is that it's mostly rice, made of course in a broth with many kinds of different types of fish and seafood, but when we serve it, you will only find pieces of shrimp and squid, nothing more. Everything completely clean. You don't have to mess your fingers. Everything is done. So that's what we call a gentleman paella.
Wow, this is so good. Wow.
Better than Valencia?
If I do, yeah, much better than Valencia. The rice on the bottom is really crunchy. And seasoned perfectly. And seafood taste was not overpowering. Oh my God, so good.
Now, if you want, they've got lemon you can squeeze on it. They have mayonnaise you can
I don't
put
think
with it.
I don't think I need anything. They have a little bit of seafood, like they chop really small, like that. Calamari, shrimp. This is the best paella ever had. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna eat them all. I can't leave this one behind.
This is amazing paella. When I first tried paella, I was in college. I was in Salamanca, and they brought out. My friends had ordered a plate of paella. I'd never heard of it before. Sat down. There were 5 of us at the table. It came in this big dish with the rice and the saffron flavor. It had chunks of chicken in it. It had mussels and clams, shrimp, other seafood, and pimentos, and it was delicious. It was really good. I like it even better without the seafood. So good.
I noticed the plate has like a cut around it. Maybe slightly big.
So you can put it up there and go,
Put it up there like that.
you hear us, David? Because I want to get some more paella out of this. I love mine. You should probably taste it just so you know how good it is.
Okay.
Without the seafood, it's wonderful too.
Okay. Little bit. I want to finish mine.
Yeah, you want to finish yours here. Here's a tiny bit for you of mine. You like the smoked rice? Really tasty, right?
Rice. Wow.
Okay, she really likes mine.
The smokiness make rice is something different. If I cover my eyes, I don't think I taste the rice. Oh, this place is amazing. Just amazing.
I will tell you all right now, every time we come back to Madrid, we will be coming back to this restaurant because it's so good.
Everything is tasty.
Okay, I just took a taste of the rib. The ribs come on the side. Actually, they serve an aglio olio, which is mayo, along with it. I will tell you, I tasted the ribs and they're very tender, very soft.
I have to tell you, the reason is that this is the original.
It is.
The barber.
Oh, it's like a barber's dish.
Yeah, and he was the dentist too.
Oh, okay.
And then Don Quixote get that as a help.
Yeah.
I saw something they decided, okay,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to change the recipe, I
Yeah.
will change the container.
Oh, look at you, facial thing.
It's really good. Tell everyone, I may suffer tonight, but it's worth it. I'm eating every last bit of this paella. This is really good.
Eating.
Don't tell me to stop eating. Stop telling me to stop eating.
I know, it's so good, right?
Yeah, it's still good. Okay, so that was another incredibly decadent meal in Madrid. This is probably the best paella I've ever had. So anyone who tells you you can't get good paella in Madrid, you bring them over, you give them a slap, and you tell them, I'm taking you to Casa Benigna. And Casa Benigna, it's named after the street it's on. This is really amazing paella. Norberto, who's the chef, is from Alicante. Alicante is known for its paella, and his paella is just excellent. He cooks here. His son works in the restaurant, so the restaurant is going to continue on. And basically, everything we've had was quality. Everything was delicious. We could do the whole meal over again, just not right now. Norberto came and he took a grain of our rice and he put it between these two slides and squished them together. And if you take a look at it, you see little white dots in the mush that he smashed into the slide. That's to show that the rice is cooked al dente. So it's still got the starch in the rice. It's still very chewy. Now, tasting it, we could tell you that. But you can't see it except on that slide. And that slide shows you that the rice here is cooked perfectly. Mine was smoked perfectly. Young's was cooked perfectly. The food, oh my God. We're going to be back. We're going to be back. They have a lot of complimentary foods here. This is a rich chocolate sauce, very much like the chocolate a la taza that you get in San Ginés. Look how thick that is. That is so good. And they serve it to you with a little pastry chip that you then just spoon this on the pastry chip. And go crazy. Rich, dark, bittersweet, delicious chocolate. And I don't want to drip it all over my shirt, so I'm going to eat it like this. We are at Sagardi Restaurant, across from the Zarzuela Theater in Madrid. Sagardi is a Basque restaurant, and we had a very nice dinner here the last time we were in Madrid. So we made reservations here, and we're going to have another very nice dinner. It's early for Spain. It's almost 8 p.m. Their average dinner time starts at 8 p.m., but most people don't start eating until 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Spain is a late town. So we're back here after 3 years. We decided to come at 8 o'clock on the nose. Restaurants here in Madrid, they open at 8 p.m. So if you come at 8, usually the Spanish people have not come for dinner yet. And your restaurant is usually going to be empty, especially if it's a local type restaurant. This is
Only us, the two of us.
Yes, it's the two of us. It's a Basque type restaurant. The entire restaurant's empty, so it gives us the ability to just go crazy. We want to run on the ceilings. We can do that here. You know, not a big problem. There's nobody here but the waitress and us. Young is already craving the chuleta. Chuleta
Last
is,
time I had the chuleta, it was very, very good.
yes, that's a Basque-style steak. And the Spanish cook steak like no other culture that I know of. They take these cows, these aged cows, and they basically char the outside of the meat and leave it almost raw inside, really red rare. They coat it with olive oil and salt and stick it on the flame until the outside is burnt and the inside is rare. And it really winds up being a delicious meal. And Young's going to get that. I am going to get what's called the solomillo, which is essentially filet mignon with candied peppers. And we're going to start out with some artichokes. We're going to have ourselves a nice Rioja wine, Marqués de Riscal. It's a really common wine. Even in the U.S., you can find it everywhere. They've got the Reserva here, so we're really looking forward to trying that.
Para los dos. Las chuletas son
Para uno. No, only solo.
para acompañar la carne.
Está bien, yes.
¿Qué les apetece?
Con pimientos.
Pimientos.
Sí, y sal y...
Ok. La chuleta hacemos poco hecho, ¿vale?
Medio raro.
Ok. Paso-
So we were going to get the chuleta for Young, which is essentially like a porterhouse steak, and the solomillo for me, which is filet mignon. But apparently the only chuletas available are for 2 people.
I
So
think
we
that's what happened last time.
okay.
They do
So we wound up both ordering the chuleta. That's what we're going to get. Años. Y mi español no es muy bien.
Muy bien.
Pero 3 años pasaron más mejor.
Perfecto.
Gracias. It's got to open up a little bit, but it's really good. Now you do see this wine in American supermarkets quite a bit, but you don't see the reserve version of it. It's usually the regular version of it. This is the reserve Marqués de Riscal. Yes. It's a little closed down in the bottle, and I say it probably needs 5 or 10 minutes to open up, but it's a really nice, tasty, full-bodied red wine. It's one of our favorite wines. I have many favorite wines. Right? Nice. And this is going to go really well with a good steak.
It needs to be opened up a little bit.
Yep. The dinner with some nice sausages.
She brought some
We got some bread.
bread.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, in Europe, when they bring bread, they will charge you for the bread unless you tell them you don't want it. We want the bread, and their bread is so good, it's worth paying for. So we're fine with that.
Oh, wow.
And some sausage. This is very similar to a Hawaiian-style Portuguese sausage. It's very good.
Oh, it's Portuguese.
Isn't that good?
Wow.
Amazing sausage.
Whoa.
See what I mean? It's a lot like a Portuguese sausage in Hawaii.
Whoa.
This is a woe sausage.
So crispy. Wow.
And the bread, as always in Spain, is always very good.
So tiny sausage and cooked in the both sides. So crunch. Need to find out what kind of sausage is this.
I think she said it's
Perfecto.
chistorra. sausage.
Spectacular. I want to find out if I can get it from store.
Okay. One thing, you go to a Spanish restaurant, you can eat a lot of stuff made right there. These are artichokes, artichoke hearts, in Spanish, alcachofas. This is Spanish jamon, ham, and for those of you who have not tried Spanish ham, it's very much like a prosciutto, except better. It's better, and it's rich. You look at the fat, and the fat is, they feed these pigs with acorns, and you can taste the acorn in the flavor of the jamon. Now, they've served us artichokes with jamon on it. And this is actually a very classic dish that you get at the beginning of a Basque meal or a Spanish meal. And it is wonderful. The two of them go really well together.
Beautiful.
Okay, now by American standards, these artichokes aren't like cooked down to the point where they're mushy and soft. They're still very chewy. They have a lot of fiber to them. They have an interesting flavor, almost like a pine flavor or a pine cone flavor, and that's just the way they seasoned it. And it goes really well with the salty ham, and this ham is probably bellota ham, which is one of the higher end hams that has a really rich acorn flavor to it. And the two of them play off each other really well. But it does take a lot of chewing, so I did chew quite a bit before I could actually talk to you guys. But it's really good. And of course, my wine.
Jamon is absolutely tasty. You can taste the jamon. Oh my God, I can't even see through this, how thin. This is so thin. It's actually, when I'm holding it with my hand, temperature from my hand is melting. It is just, oh.
Now, I made the mistake of ordering artichokes with jamon, knowing how much Young loves the jamon. She's going to eat the jamon right off the artichokes so that I can't eat the two of them together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's okay. It's okay. I'll live.
Jamon is so good.
I know, jamon is always good, and this is really good jamon.
Si necesitan calentar, yo me lo llevo, le hacemos
Very
un poquito
nice.
más o calentamos.
Yum.
Yum.
Gracias. So this is the first of many steak dinners we are going to have in Spain. They really do this right. Now, like I said, they chard the outside of the steak. They leave it rare on the inside. We ordered this one medium rare. They'll salt it. They put some olive oil on it. They put it on an open flame until it's charred. And they serve it with candied pimientos or peppers. So it's essentially pepper candy. I know, she said it was hot. I wanted to show them how good this is.
Yeah. Look at this.
Okay, now, for those of you who are vegetarians in the group, you have to look away.
Yeah.
But for Elizabeth and those of you who are meat lovers, you have to look at this.
I take it out. Do you remember when I tried the chuleta for the first time?
Yeah, your eyes rolled back in your head and you went into convulsions. You liked it so much.
Yeah, I love, usually I love steak. But when I taste the chuleta in Saint Sebastian for the first time, and I was blown away. And I started, after that, every city we visit, oh my God, how rare that is. Oh,
But it's just rare enough. You should try some of the candied peppers. Muy bien, sabroso.
Can we have some the salt and pepper?
Sal.
Salt.
Sal is salt. Pimiento is pepper.
Okay.
You should try some of the peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sweet.
It's got the pepper flavor. It's not spicy. It's very sweet, but it's got a strong
Not
pepper
spicy,
flavor.
but it's really.
Olive oil in it. It's very, very much candied peppers. Just delicious.
Thank you.
Es como pimiento bombón.
She brought some salt.
Yeah.
Chuleta. This chuleta, oh, so much so soft.
Yeah.
Is the temperature warm?
Yeah.
Not spicy.
No. It's a really nice
This is
accompaniment to the
spicy?
steak.
I mean,
No,
the-
it's not
the
spicy.
pepper?
It's pepper. That's
Red pepper.
the red pepper, right? But it's not a spicy red
But it's
pepper.
so
it's like
thin.
a pimiento.
You can't even
Pimento.
tell this is red pepper. Look at how thin.
It goes really well with the steak,
Wow.
right? It's a good combination of the two.
Oh, I love steak. Oh, I might finish the whole thing all by myself.
Oh my goodness,
I know. Isn't it scary?
that's very
But-
scary.
But so I haven't eaten red meat for almost a month. So I think I deserve it.
It's hard to describe the flavor of these peppers because it's not like anything you see in the U.S., but the pepper itself is charred. So they charred the pepper and you get the charred flavor, but at the same time you get the sweetness of the pepper and the pepperiness. It's not spicy, but it's peppery tasting. And then they cook it in olive oil, and so the olive oil makes it
Absolutely
really
delicious.
tender. It's really sweet. It's delicious. It's really a wonderful dish. Yeah, I don't know. And you will see this in all of the steak restaurants. We're going to go to several steak restaurants while we're here in Spain, especially up in Basque country. There's a steakhouse up there called Casa de Tolosa, which is known to be supposedly the best steakhouse in the entire world. And we are going to be going and having steak there. And they also serve these peppers. And they're known for their steak, they're known for their peppers, and they don't do much else. But here, this is a Basque classic dish. It's delicious. It's something we love doing when we're in Spain.
You know, I dip in my bread.
Yeah? Oh, your bread in the olive oil.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah, because the red pepper infused the olive oil.
Right.
This is why we travel.
You know, during the pandemic shutdown, we couldn't travel much. Prior to the pandemic shutdown, we were traveling 3-4 times a year. Places like this, places like Thailand, places like Korea, everywhere,
Much
and
cheaper
all
at
over
the
the
time.
U.S. Yeah, and it was cheaper then. Now that we're able to travel again, we're starting to go out again. We'll be doing a lot of these in different countries. We will be going to Thailand around Christmas time. You know, we are doing Spain this trip, but we'll do some other trips too. We've been talking about South America. I don't know whether we're going to get down there or not, but at some point we're going to try.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
You'll see on this channel experiences from all over the world.
Yeah, but every culture cook beef differently. And taste amazing in different way. But my favorite way to cook beef, of course, bulgogi. That's number one.
Of course.
Yeah. I think my number
What about
two.
kalbi?
No, I think bulgogi is
Bulgogi's better?
Yeah. And then number two, I think is chuleta. Number three is a big juicy steak in United States. Yeah.
We are full of wine. We have lots of wine. We emptied the bottle between the two of us.
I know.
Young drank it all. I didn't drink any of it. I had 3 glasses.
Yeah.
I
This is
tend
good
to
wine.
prefer Spanish wines because you always get
Yeah.
good value from a
Yeah.
good Spanish wine, especially a Rioja, one of my favorites. Yeah, the restaurant is still empty. The theater across the way, she was
Yeah.
telling us, it gets out at about 10:30, and then we
Yeah.
wind up having a whole crowd is going
Yeah.
to come in here and
In an
pack the
hour.
restaurant.
So we have
in
an
just about
hour
an hour. We've got an
just
hour
for
to ourselves. And again, we get to dance around the restaurant and do all kinds of stuff on our own.
I just wanted to say, since we are doing YouTube, you guys, Spain is a really good place to come to travel. Nothing is really expensive. People are so nice. Wine is just so inexpensive compared to the one we have in United States. And what else? The food is just amazing. The reason food is just amazing, people really care about the food.
The
see
countryside is
museum?
gorgeous. No, you didn't mention the museums, and the museums here are great. We definitely think the Prado is the best museum. Yes, this is a Basque apple tart.
Oh.
And it's got apples and a little crust on the bottom. And if you look at the ice cream, you notice it's whiter than our vanilla ice cream.
Oh.
And that's because it's probably a nata ice cream. Which basically they take the milk, they boil the milk and the skin comes to the top. They take the skin and they make ice cream out of that. Oh, that's very nice. It's very buttery. They're basically making ice cream out of the butter fat of the milk. So good. Very rich pastry crust on the bottom. Massive apple flavor on the top. And that beautiful buttery nata ice cream on top of that.
Just visually.
Just a wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't care about how it looks. I care about how it tastes.
About how it looks.
It's very common in Spain. They bring you the dessert, and then after the dessert, they bring you your coffee. So those of us from the U.S. who are used to having coffee with our dessert, you're not going to get it here.
So you gotta hold on your dessert?
No, I'm not going to hold on to my dessert. I'm going to eat my dessert, and then I'm going to get my coffee. That's just how it works. Just expect it, live with it, learn. Of course, for those of us who get desserts and whose wife eat their desserts before they get a chance to eat it, that's just life. Learn it, love it, live it. Spain is a favorite country of ours. We come here. Before the pandemic, we used to come at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. We really love this. I went to college for a semester in Spain and fell in love with the country back then. And then when Young and I were dating, I took her here, and she fell in love with the country when I took her here. And we've been coming back ever since. It's a great place. We are at Sagardi. We are downstairs in the Prado Museum. Now, this museum is, in my opinion, one of the best museums in all of the world, including anywhere in Europe, better than the Louvre, better than the d'Orsay, which, by the way, is my favorite museum in Paris. And it just has such a wide variety of all different kinds of artists. Everything, the old Spanish artists, the French artists, all the artists from all over the world. It's an incredible collection. Remember that Spain ruled the world for many, many years, and during that time, it collected artwork from everywhere that it was in charge of. And that was just absolutely great. Now, unfortunately, they won't let us take videos of the artwork upstairs, and so we're just going to have to tell you that it's spectacular and you have to come see it. Down here, we can give you our introduction, but definitely come see the Prado. It's not that expensive. If you're not a senior, it costs roughly 15 euros to get in, or you can get an art pass for 36 euros, which gets you in here, the Reina Sofia Museum, and the Thyssen Museum. If you're a senior, the Reina Sofia Museum is free, and the entrance to this museum is $7.50. I don't know how much for the Thyssen, but it's definitely not that expensive. It's definitely an experience you should see. My favorite artist of all time here is Goya. Francisco Goya. His work can be very, very dark, but it's really impressive, inspired. He had paintings on the walls of his house that were moved off the walls and put onto canvases that are now on display here. He had paintings of the 7 deadly sins. He had a portrait of Saturn eating his child to display gluttony, and he had that over his dining room table. The man was a little sick, but you know, his work is just incredible. The work he has called Perro, it's a dog that's being buried in its head, up to its head in sand, and you just see an expression of uselessness on his face. This is just, you know, the inspiration that you get from the artwork. It's incredible. They have Goya, they have Bruegel, they have Velázquez, they have Sorolla, they have all the major Spanish artists and artists from all over the world. Come see it. When you're in Madrid, don't miss the Prado. You can come in for the last 2 hours every day for free, but there's usually a bigger crowd, or you pay your money and do it during the day and not have to deal with the crowds. We're in the Reina Sofia Museum in Madrid. Now, the Reina Sofia is one of 3 major art museums in Madrid. There's a lot of art museums here, but there are 3 major ones. There's the Prado, which has all of the classic art, all of the ones that the Goyas, the Bruegels, the Velázquez, all the stuff you have read about and the stuff you studied in your art history class. Then the Reina Sofia, where we are today, has all of the contemporary art. You get Picasso, you've got Salvador Dali, you've got sometimes Marcel Duchamp is here, and you have a lot of really famous modern artists. And Young particularly likes modern art, so we're here first. We're going to go to the Prado another day and we'll show you that place. This place is really good. They have normally on display the artwork done by Picasso called Guernica. Let me describe Guernica. It's not on display today, but we'll show you from one of our prior visits pictures of what it is. And basically Guernica was a political protest that Picasso made. Back in the 1930s, Franco and Hitler, they were both fascists, they liked each other a lot, and Hitler was trying to a carpet bombing technique on cities to see if it would be effective on destroying the interiors of cities. And Franco was having problems with the Basques up in the north of Spain. And so he gave Hitler permission to go and carpet bomb the Basque city of Guernica. And that was a win-win for Franco because he got rid of all those pesky Basques that were protesting his fascist rule. And Hitler got to try his carpet bombing technique, and Franco and Hitler got to cement their relationship. Well, Hitler went and he bombed Guernica, and he devastated the thing. There were body parts everywhere. There were people just dead everywhere. The entire town was dead. And Picasso wanted to protest it, so he painted this painting that's one of the most influential paintings of all time. And you see in the painting pieces of cows, pieces of people, just and it's all done in the Picasso style where you can't really immediately identify that they're body parts that he's showing. But he's showing explosions and body parts and everything. It's an impressive thing. Normally, that's on display here at the Reina Sofia. For some reason, it's closed right now. But if you get here to Madrid, you should definitely come see it because it's such an important piece of art history. We are now standing on Calle Cava Baja. This place is fairly famous as a tapas street in Madrid. That's because it does have some of the best tapas bars in Madrid, and it also has them really conveniently placed one after the other after the other. If you want, you can start at one end at the other, never have the same thing twice in the same place, and walk out of here just totally sloshed and really full. But it's a wonderful place. Young and I actually, there's a place down the way which we're going to go into that it's called Casa Lucas. It's where we got actually some of the appetizers that we served at our wedding because we like it so much. As I mentioned, Casa Lucas is one of our favorite tapas bars. First of all, they have a really good selection of various wines by the glass from all over Spain, and really good stuff. And second of all, their food here, their tapas are wonderful. They make two things. One is called the Paella, which is, if I remember correctly, that's the one with the pork over the corn mousse, and it's got a balsamic drizzle over it. And then they have another one that's chicken, also over toast. Anyway, we're going to get the Paella, we'll get the cochinillo, that's the other one, and we'll get both of them. They'll be good. And those are our tapas in this bar. There are other stuff. They're really known for all kinds of stuff that they make, but those are our favorites. And the Paella is really good. Tapas is an interesting concept here in Spain. It's got a sort of an apocryphal history. Some people say the name tapear means to cover. And so tapa, they used to say they would take food and they would put it on top of the wine or the beer glasses, because back in the Middle Ages, there would be flies everywhere and you didn't want the flies getting in your drink. So you would cover the wine or the beer with food to keep the flies out of the drink. Now that's one story. The other story is that there was a king here who didn't want the bars serving the patrons alcohol and didn't want them stumbling out of the bars drunk and incoherent. And so he mandated that they go ahead and they have food with their wines. Thank you very much. And so they came up with the concept of tapas. To this day, in most bars, if you sit down and you don't order food, they will give you a complimentary tapa. Here, even though we ordered the food, they gave us the complimentary tapa. Here it's bread with chorizo sausage on it, and that's always going to be good. Now, we already got our first dish, and we have not tried it here before, but we've heard from another YouTuber that this dish is very good. This is the rabo de toro, or bull's tail, which is served over mashed potatoes with a brown gravy, and it's got a green salsa verde on it. And so we're going to try that. And then we're going to get our favorite Paella, which is the pork with the corn mousse underneath. I got a glass of Grenache wine, which the bartender recommended. It's a red wine that goes good with all kinds of casual, good, home cooking type foods, and I really like that. Young Gata Rioja, that's the more upscale red wine. Unfortunately, Young has upgraded her taste and she's now a wine snob, but that's okay, we'll live with it. You know, my wife the wine snob, we can do it. I'm still getting the Grenache, it's very good. All right, now I've already tried their complimentary tapa, which is the chorizo with the bread underneath. I've tried one of the chorizos. This is a really good chorizo. It has a strong paprika flavor. It's just got a little bit of spiciness to it, and it's just nice. The rabo de toro. This has got a nice smooth mashed potato under it. It's got a rich gravy on top of it. And rabo de toro is a very rich meat anyway. It's very fatty. And oh, this is the official serving fork. This is my fork. I refuse to eat with the serving fork because that would be gauche. As always, rabo de toro is a very rich meat, and here it is extremely rich. And the guidance we got to try the rabo de toro here is definitely well placed. This is delicious. It's one of the better rabo de toros I've had. This is the Paella. This is what I was telling you about, that Young and I liked it so much we actually copied it for our wedding. It's got some dark meat chicken, it's got corn mousse on top of it, and it has a drizzle of soy sauce over it. It comes served with the French fries. crunchy shoestring fries, and then it's got sauteed a confit of onions underneath it. It's really delicious, and I can easily make a dinner out of this. Okay, take a look at the confit onions underneath. This is sweet and salty. It's got a good yin-yang flavor. It's really well balanced. Good combination of food. I like this. For our wedding, I recreated the recipe. We hired a professional chef to come and cook this, and we served this to all our guests at our wedding, and they all kept saying, "What is that? Why is it so good?" And it's like, this is from Spain. You've got to come to Madrid and try it, and you will love it. The corn mousse was the hardest part to figure out, but I did figure it out. And you know what? I'm going to finish this completely. You like the morcilla. Yeah, and it's cut with pasas, which is pasas is beans. Piñones? Okay, that's pine nuts.
When you bite into it, you can eat the pine nuts. Very, very good.
Well, that was a wonderful tapas meal at Casa Lucas. We had a few different things, as you'll see on the video. We also met a lovely young couple. They were sitting next to us, and we had a great time with them, and we're going to keep in touch because they live in Portland, and someday we'll be up there and we can go meet them. I'm checking because Young's standing in the road, and I didn't want her to get run over by any cars. Anyway, Casa Lucas, always a good time, always amazing food, always amazing wine. Definitely worth coming to whenever you're in Madrid. And the other places on the street are good too.